Tennis really opened so many doors in terms of education, in terms of studying in the US, meeting my husband and having kids. In the environment that I grew up, apartheid, everything being segregated, you know, where you live, which beach you go to, not being able to go to certain hotels, which train you take and where you sit on the train and so forth, everything was separate. In 1976 was my first year of school, and there were student riots in Adderley Street, right in downtown Cape Town. And the police used tear gas to try to get the students to disperse. And I was 6 or 7 at the time, and all the students got the effects of the tear gas. I mean, I remember my eyes burning, and I was touched by it. My mom and dad and I would go on trips, and my mom is fair in complexion, my dad's really dark. My mom would have to go in and try to get a room, you know, and then sneak us in. When things were chaotic and tumultuous, tennis gave me an outlet, and it kept me, in a way, sane in an insane time. So the facilities which I played, they weren't in the best condition. The courts had cracks and grass growing and holes in the fence and sometimes no nets. And we would string up something, pretend it was a net, use our pantyhose, and we'd tie them together. My mom played tennis. She would play league tennis matches, and it was very social on the weekends. They would bring food and have a good time, and I would tag along. My dad bought a ball machine. He would take me around wherever we could get electricity, shoot balls at me while I would hit forehands and backhands. And I think it was really only at age 9 when I took my first lesson. By 14, 15, I was very involved in boycotting and then going to rallies. Just, you know, Amandla Awetu, Amandla Awetu, and being shot at and tear gas.
Now it's almost past 4, man. Huh? And is this your daughter?
Yes, this is
Is
Salma.
she as good a tennis player as you were when you were her age?
Better.
Is she better?
Yeah.
Is she like Venus Williams, or what is the other one's name? Zarina. We believe, no, we want the whole loaf and not half the loaf.
Yeah.
And we were not fighting only for the so-called colored, but for all the South Africans,
Yeah.
the blacks especially, you know. And your father and us, we also believed in that motto, that we cannot have normal sport like tennis, rugby, cricket, whatever, in an abnormal society. We must first solve the problems of the society, then automatically our sport will be normal.
Yeah. By 16 or so, right after the boycotts, my dad started writing letters to just about anybody. I think he started with Desmond Tutu. He also sent letters to Andrew Young, who was the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, and Arthur Ashe. Said, hey, I have this daughter who's really good. She's won the 12s, the 14s, the 16s. Now what do I do? Are there, you know, any opportunities for her to play somewhere else? Maybe at an academy or something like that. Somehow, some family in Atlanta, Georgia, they were able to reach out to Georgia State to secure me a scholarship. I didn't even think twice about it because I knew that I would improve, and I thought that I could possibly have a chance at a professional career. I didn't know when apartheid would end. I didn't know when Mandela would be released. You'd have to look into a crystal ball to know that. The feeling was that, oh wow, you know, we're just going to, this is how it's going to be for the next 10, 20, 30 years.
There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence. against the government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people.
Right over there is Robben Island, and Nelson Mandela was trapped over there on the island. I felt trapped in South Africa. So in a way, I feel that there was this connection with Mandela. He eventually was released in 1990 and then became president. My senior year, I was #1 on the team and captain, and I had won conference 3 years out of the 4 years that I was at Georgia State. We have 3 daughters, and they started playing really by 2010. I started and really worked with them every single day. And here I am in Stellenbosch, South Africa with Salma, who's now 17. It's very emotional for me to bring my daughter back home. When I grew up in South Africa, I didn't have the opportunities that she has today. For example, at the facility at which this event is being held, I wasn't allowed to play there. And now to watch her play on those courts, you know, brings a tear to my eye because it's a good feeling, but it's also sort of bittersweet.
Tennis means everything to me. I love competing, and I just love being out there on the court and playing. I remember just watching her play and thinking it was so cool that she could hit the ball so hard. Over time, I got better, and we started finding different coaches, but my mom was always my main coach. And then I just kind of got really good around 2014, 2015. I started doing better in tournaments and winning some of them. There's always that connection between me and South Africa because even though I wasn't born here, my mom was. And coming here feels sort of like a second home.
So I jumped at the opportunity to go and play tennis overseas. But at the time, because it was in the midst of the struggle, it was perceived as jumping ship. On the other hand, being given that opportunity and playing at that level becomes inspiring for the younger generation as they're coming up and they see that, oh wow, Reyana Abrahams, the first Black South African to get a scholarship and play college tennis, makes them feel like, oh wow, I can do it too.